Welcome to our midweek recharge. So this is our 30-minute session. So today is going to be a nice mix. We'll do some quite energetic movement. We'll do some breath work and we'll finish with a nice relaxation. So I really love this class. I love these short sessions and I think it's just so perfect to fit in whenever it suits you into your day as well, or visit it again later in the week. I don't know about you guys, but is anybody experiencing cabin fever at the moment? If you're live, you can like raise your hand if you are. Yeah, 2 hands. I don't know, I had a real bout of cabin fever this morning. And then I often, when I'm a little lost, I turn to my book of quotes from my teacher, and really amazing what the quote was today. So I'm going to share it with you. So she says that attachment is what arises in us when we don't get our preference. So like my preference now today would be to be at the studio, to be able to go further than my 2 kilometers. And so she says we all have preferences: a blue shirt over a red shirt, tea instead of coffee, yoga over wrestling. Definitely my preference. She says preferences do not limit our life. What limits us is the feeling that arises when we don't get our way. This feeling is attachment, and attachment constricts our enjoyment. So today, when the feeling of attachment arises, notice it and consciously let it go and see what happens. So that was absolutely perfect for me this morning. I was definitely attaching to the idea that I wanted to be in my studio. I wanted to be organizing retreats, and when I focused on that, there was real suffering there. But I did this little practice I'm going to share with you now, and I definitely felt better just being in the moment and trying to enjoy instead of putting on to what way we want it to be. Just embracing as it is and what we do have. So I'm going to share that with you now. So we're going to start in a chair. So welcome if you've just joined us. So just make sure that the chair that you have, that your feet can come completely onto the ground from heel to toe. So if your feet are hovering on the ground, above the ground, get something like a block under each foot, or a box, or something that's going to lift up the feet so you get that connection. And just settle by sitting a little taller so that your shoulders settle above your hips. Feel yourself arriving in your chair now, so you can feel your hips being supported, your buttocks being supported, your feet against the earth. Becoming very present. And start to notice your breathing. Maybe just noticing what you might be attaching to today. So, is there something that you would prefer to have in your life right now? Maybe holding on to that is causing some suffering. We're just going to see if we can, instead of focusing on that, just come into the moment, come into the body, come into the breath. On the next inhalation, we're going to start by moving our arms, so you can keep your eyes closed, perhaps opening them. We're going to open the arms out, reach them out wide, and lift them all the way up over the head. So as you bring the hands towards each other, then we're going to exhale, bringing the hands to the center. So inhaling, expanding out. Exhaling, coming down to center. Inhaling again, raising the arms, lifting up. Exhaling, back to the center. So enlivening it a little more now. So inhaling, opening out, and we're going to go through our sun salutes in the chair. So as you exhale this time now, hinge forward and begin to come down. So either forearms on top of your thighs or hands down to your shins. On the next inhale, keeping the arms where they are, lifting the chest. So you're drawing the heart center forward, drawing the shoulders back, whether you're on your forearms or whether your hands are on your legs. Next exhalation, folding a little deeper. And then inhaling, so really feel your feet now, root them down and lift up. Open the arms wide, lift all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands by your sides. So make that connection between your feet and the earth again, and let's inhale. Raise the arms. Exhale, hinge forward, fold down, so either forearms on your thighs or hands on your shins. Inhale, then lift up your chest, shoulder blades back, lift the head. Exhale, stay there or fold deeper. Relax your jaw, relax your face. Root your feet down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release down or bring the hands through the heart center. Gonna go again. Inhale, raise the arms, lift up. Exhale, hinge forward, fold. So elbows on your thighs or hands on your shins. Inhale, lift your chest, shoulders, draw back, a little bit like a seated cobra. And then exhale, stay there or fold deeper. Inhale, root the feet down, lift up, open the arms, come all the way up. And you can bring your hands straight down or through the heart center. Just pause for a second. And now pay attention to your feet. If you're seated quite far back into the chair, for the next bit, you're going to want to probably come a little forward. And so we're going to root our feet down. So you've got your feet hip distance apart. Now the legs are going to get involved. So we're going to be coming up out of the chair. Just go with caution because we're going to be going up and down. So out of the chair and then back into the chair. So on your inhale now, root your feet into the floor. As you exhale, lean forward. So just leaning forward a little so you're getting more weight into the feet. As you inhale now, lots of pressure in the feet. You're going to lift slowly out of the chest. So your bum's going to lift up and then you're going to push down and rise up through the arms. All the way up. Good. Exhale. So your arms are coming down. Now go carefully here. Bend at your knees. We're going to try to come back into the chair. If you can do without using your hands, great. If you feel that you need a bit more security by bringing the hands to the chairs, go for that. It takes a while to get used to this movement. So let's do that a couple of times. So inhale, push down through the feet. Exhale, lean forward. Inhale, so you're switching on all your leg muscles. You're starting to lift. Exhaling, carefully now coming back towards your chair. So you start by sending your bum back, pushing down into your feet, finding the seat, and you're back in the chair. We're going to do it again. I'll show you how it looks from the side as well. So a little bit forward in your chair. Root the feet down. Inhale, push down. Exhale, hinge forward. Engaging through your legs, through your thighs. Bum lifts. Inhale. Lift up. Exhale. So point the bum back, start to bend the knees. So think chair pose and then come back into your seat all the way down. That takes practice, especially that we have to trust that the chair is going to catch us as well. So it's a good one to practice. So sitting in your seat again now, come back into your breath. See if you feel a little more alert than you did when we started. And now from here, let's take the feet wider apart. So I'm going to bring my feet out a little bit wider than the legs of the chair. I'm going to point the big toes out at an angle. So when you open the legs like this, your knees are going to point out each direction. Have your toes pointing out the same. And I'm actually a little bit more towards the edge of the chair, so you can really get the opening in the thighs here. So first of all now, just root your feet down and sit up tall. So shoulders over your hips. Maybe close the eyes. And just feel what it's like to sit here. And this is quite an empowering pose to be in. And this opening through your chest or your shoulder blades down. And then you can keep your hands on your thighs, or you might bring them to your knees. And we're just going to circle around here. So you're going to take your chest forward, around towards the left knee, coming back towards center, and then forward towards the right knee, or the other way. So it doesn't matter because we're going to change direction in a moment. And you're breathing all the time. So through the nose, soft jaw. This might feel good for your hips. Keep your feet firm on the floor. If you're using support under your feet, just make sure you've got the blocks covering the whole of your foot. Now change direction. So if you feel discomfort in any of these poses, of course, as always, you're just going to stop and then maybe wait to join the next pose that we do. Just taking care with your body. Let's come back to center. So make your circles a little slower, make your way back in. So we're keeping the legs, and they're active, so we're not letting the knees flop in, we're keeping the knees opening out. I'm going to bend at the elbows, and we'll bring the right elbow down onto the right thigh. You can turn your palm up perhaps here, and then left hand goes to the hip, or reach straight up, or up and over. So we're leaning a little bit now towards that right leg, but as you bring the side of your body to the right, spin your heart up to the ceiling. So straight up or up over the head, and then maybe you'll look up to the ceiling. Try to root your left hip into your chair and your left foot into the floor. On your in-breath, come up to center, and we'll bend at the left elbow, so that forearm comes roughly to the middle of your thigh, so you've got that space. So there's a side bend here with your left shoulder dropping down, and then right hand on your hip, straight up or up over your head. So right hip, keep it on your seat. Notice if it's kind of lifting, keep it down. Keep your right foot on the floor and your knee opening to the side. Sometimes we have a tendency to let the knees flop in here. Just keep them open. Deep breaths. Really nice, folks. Let's come up. Now make your way to center. We're going to bring our legs back together. Do that with care, maybe one at a time. As they come back in, just keep the space so they're hip width apart and you're firm. Again, if you're using props underneath the feet, bring them in now as well. So we're going to bend at the forearms. This time, bring them in front of your chest, and then we'll come into a fold. So you're going to bring your elbows towards your thighs. And then keep your right arm where it is. And we're going to take the left arm up. So you might just go straight up, or you're twisting. So you're taking your chest to the left. You're going to bring your arm up, or maybe now bring it to shoulder height and then reach back behind you. Your right hand can turn down, so you're holding the left thigh, giving you a little bit of traction. So a folding twist. Beautiful, everybody. So sweep that left arm back in now. So bend at the elbow, that hand comes down, you're wrapping it around the right thigh. And on your next in-breath, sweep your right arm back. Spin your chest to the right. Look to the right, or turn your head and look to your thumb. Exhale, bring your arm back down. And we're going to lift back into our seat. So rest your hands onto your thighs or your knees. Close the eyes for a second now. Find your breath. Open the feet wider again now. So we're coming back into that open hip position. So your ankles here are underneath your knees. Knees are pointing out, toes are pointing out. Root your feet down. You feel all that energetic engagement up through the legs. We're going to bring that energy now into the upper body. So shoulders roughly over your hips, and then we're going to take the elbows to bend and the hands coming up. So breathe deep here. Open out the fingers, spread the fingers so the hands are really energetic. Now here's a few options. So keep drawing your chest forward, really opening. And then perhaps a little addition here, just a little bit of fun, lion's breath. So in lion's breath, what we do is we send our sight up towards the ceiling. We open up the mouth really wide and we let the tongue stick out. So it sounds a little crazy. Don't worry, nobody's looking at you. So on your exhalation, so you can take a big inhale. You're going to send the gaze up. And as you exhale, big ha. Ha. Smile, relax. Open the elbows a little higher now, so lift up, yes. We're gonna do that again, big inhale. And then, soften. One more breath down, elbows out. So really go for it now this time. So you're gonna let the eyes go up, so you're getting that stretch. Open the mouth real wide, big inhale. And then make some noise. And exhale, let your arms come down. Bring your foot in one at a time. Close the eyes here. Notice the effects now of your poses. So that's a really good pose for just letting out any trapped energy, really helping us reset. And if your cabin fever has made you want to scream, you don't want to disturb your neighbors, then that is a great pose to do, your lion's breath. So now let's slow it down a bit. So just get comfortable enough in your chair. So you might need to sit back a bit. Have your ankles again underneath your knees. If you find it tricky to keep very upright, just come right back into the support of your chair, but just be aware that you're not slouching. Rest your hands upon your thighs or in your lap. Maybe close the eyes. Just fall into your natural breath now. So all that awakening and invigorating movement now. Just coming back to yourself. And we'll practice our Samavritti breathing. So we've done that a few times in this recharge session over the last few weeks. So that's where we breathe for a count of up to 4. So we breathe in for 4, we hold at the top of the breath for 4, we exhale slowly out for 4, and then we pause at the bottom for 4. So Just begin now. Don't do any holding, any retention just yet now. So simply just see if you can steady out your breathing. And it might not be flowing for a count of 4 today. It might be 2 or 3, and that's absolutely fine. So just count, breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out, 2, 3, 4. Now keep going. So as you breathe in, see if you can really let your lungs fill with air. Feel the expansion of your ribs, the front and the back of the body. Breathing out, softening. So you could stick with that. That might be where you're sticking today. Or breathing in, and when you get to the top of your inhale, hold. 2, 3, 4. Then breathe out slowly. 2, 3, 4. The bottom of the exhale, just hold and pause. 3, 4. And inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Pause. 2, 3, 4. And now keep going. Do 2 more rounds by yourself. If you ever feel caught for breath or light-headed, just return back to your natural breath. Give it a few moments. And then you can go back into just the even breath, maybe leaving out the retention and the holds. And trust your own body. Do 1 more round now. And then the last time now that you pause, just let your breath flow. Let go of the effort, let go of the rhythm. Take a moment to feel the aftermath of your summer breathing. And now for our last 5 minutes or so of our session, I'll invite you to either, if you want to stay as you are, just make yourself real comfortable in your chair, and maybe you're going to take a seated Shavasana. If you like today, what we could do is come into our legs up pose using our chair. If you're going to go for that today, just take your time. Most of you have probably done this with me before already. So what we're going to do is going to bring the lower legs onto the support of the chair. So you use the hands to help swing the legs up. You can get that support from the backs of your knees. So if you have a chair like mine, my legs will just go through the back of it. If you've got a covered back, you might need to turn the chair around so that you're using the side of it instead. So just adapt to what you have. And you can grab your blanket, and if you're not cold, maybe just put the blanket perhaps just on top of your legs, just for that little bit of soothing wedge. Let the arms rest, bring them out a little away from the body. If you've got an eye pillow or anything like that, you might opt to cover your eyes. And we're just going to spend the next 4 minutes here or so. So up to you, just make yourself as comfortable as you like. If you're sitting in the chair in your seat, pick a spot for your arms to rest. If it feels like an effort to be here, sit a little deeper back into the chair, into the seat. Those who are lying with the legs up, just make sure your whole back is being held by the floor. So if it feels like there's an arch in your back, kind of wriggle your hips closer to the chair so you get that full support. And now let's be just quiet for these next few minutes. Enjoying this precious little piece of silence now. So I'll ring the singing bowl when it's time to come back. Begin to deepen your breath. If you feel that you want to stay longer, you're very welcome to do so. You can hit pause or just turn off your device, stay for longer. If you're ready to continue with the rest of your day, just for those lying back with the legs up, just roll your knees towards you. Begin to roll over to whichever side you have space. Take a couple of breaths on your side. Again, if you feel that you want to stay like that, there is no need to move. Your time is yours. If you are coming up, we'll just come into any position, whether it's seated, whether it's on the chair. Take our hands towards our heart center. Just lower the head. And you can open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you for recharging with me. This was the last in this block of 5 weeks. So if you've got questions on the next course, just send me a message here, or if you're watching later, call me or pop me an email or on Facebook. The next course is going to have 5 classes a week, so it's even extra value. I've changed some of the lengths as well, and you can see all that information online. Thank you, guys.